She's the murderer.
What was that?
Set her sold his elephant. Hazen there, come on.
Pull the tent flap back.
Right, look.
Sounds
Horrible. She's dead. Trampled to death by Zelda's elephant.
The beast must have smoked with the odor of the tigers on her clothes.
Yes.
Perhaps you may call it that, gentlemen. I prefer to call it retribution.
Vitamin is right, Miss Schill. Fay Lyons paid for her sins.
That does it. That lets everybody know that Tootsie Rolls are back on candy counters all over America. That big nickel-sized Tootsie Roll is just as chewy, chocolatey, and delicious as ever. All those good, wholesome ingredients that go into Tootsie Rolls receive extra special care at the Tootsie Roll Candy Kitchen. And when you buy a Tootsie Roll at your favorite candy counter, you get a candy treat that can't be beat. That chewy, chocolatey Tootsie Roll will really tickle your taster. That Tootsie Roll is delicious. Everybody knows that the big nickel-sized Tootsie Roll is a teeth-tickling treat that can't be beat.
Police headquarters, Tracy speaking. Yes, Sergeant McGuire. What? You saw Deuce's Wild? You couldn't have. He was executed last night. I don't care what Deuce has said about coming back. He's dead. What? No, don't do anything. This sounds serious. I'll be right over.
What's this? Deuce's Wild returned from the dead? An executed man who comes back to wreak vengeance on the people who sent him there? It's all yours for the listening. Next Saturday, same time, same station, when Tootsie Rolls, America's best-known candy, presents America's best-known detective, Dick Tracy, in the case of the man who died twice.
featuring Vitamin Flintheart, Deuce's Wild, and an all-star cast.
Dick Tracy is based on the nationally known comic strip created by Chester Gould. Dick Tracy is written for radio by Sidney Sloan and directed by Mitchell Grayson.
You're listening to KHZN, 1101 on your radio dial. This is Hank Moses. Next up on KHZN is a fan favorite, Armis Brooks, brought to you by Colgate Dental Cream. Tonight, the Thanksgiving episode. So sit back, relax, and listen as our favorite high school English teacher tries once again to find romance.
Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay. Bring you Armis Brooks, starring Eve Arden. It's time once again for another comedy episode of Armis Brooks, written by Ad Lewis. Well, last Thursday was Thanksgiving, and most of us realized that we had quite a bit to be thankful for. Even Armis Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School.
Yes, a holiday means a lot to me. First, it gives me an opportunity to relax and count my lack of blessings. And second, it offers a chance to catch up on several days brooding. But this Thanksgiving was different. I knew it was going to be when I joined my landlady at breakfast last Wednesday morning. Good morning, Miss Davis. Did you have a nice night?
Wonderful, Connie. I didn't sleep a wink.
That sounds like fun.
I was planning my menu for tomorrow. It's Thanksgiving, you know, and I wanted something special for Minerva and me.
Minerva? Oh, there you are, you cute little kitten.
Oh, where is she, Connie?
Taking my stocking off with her cute little paws. Stop it, Minerva. Now get away from my stocking. Either get away from those or knit me a new pair with that ball of yarn you play with.
Go out to the kitchen, Minerva. I don't want you to hear about tomorrow's menu.
What are you having, Mrs. Davis?
Minerva's favorite dish, S-Q-U-A-B. It doesn't do a bit of good to spell things out anymore.
I guess she's too old for that. Please go into the kitchen, Minerva. There's some milk out there. Right under the S-I-N-K. Don't tell me she slammed the door behind her.
No, that was me, Connie. I wanted to show you the squab I got for tomorrow.
Oh, I'd like to see it.
Well, here it is.
Where? Oh, right there behind that carrot. I've seen stuffing with larger drumsticks.
You know, Connie, I was all ready to get a nice 10-pound turkey yesterday when the clerk at the market said something that made me change my mind.
What did he say?
$8.30.
Oh, that is a pretty rude remark.
I'm afraid I was a little testy when I complained about the price. Anyway, when I demanded something cheaper, this is the bird he gave me.
Certainly did.
Well, it'll be enough for Minerva and myself. I suppose you've already been invited somewhere for turkey and all the fixings.
Where would you suggest?
Hasn't Mr. Boynton asked you out for Thanksgiving dinner, Connie?
Not yet, Mrs. Davis, but this morning he's going to be exposed to the most thorough opportunity to do so.
Good.
Of course, Mr. Boynton's been on a very strict budget lately. He probably can't afford any turkey dinners.
Then you bring him back here with you, Connie.
Well, that's very sweet of you, Mrs. Davis, but that squab...
Oh, we'll make it do. Remember the old saying, there's always room for just one more.
In this case, you must mean one more squab. Thanks anyways, Mrs. Davis. After all, we've still got our health, which is more than I can say for that squab.
Of course, I'd rather see you eat a nice turkey dinner tomorrow. Maybe you could wrangle yourself an invitation from one of your friends.
Oh, please, Mrs. Davis. Well, that must be Walter Denton. He's giving me a lift to school. Be right there, Walter.
Why don't you find out what his folks are planning for tomorrow? Maybe you could get yourself invited there.
I'm surprised at you, Mrs. Davis. Why, I've never forced myself on anyone in my life.
Connie, take another look at that squab.
Like I say, Walter's mother may not know it yet, but there's always room for just one more. Oh, it certainly is nice weather for Thanksgiving, isn't it, Walter?
Oh, it's more than nice, Miss Brooks. This air's absolutely succulent. It's downright savory and delicious.
One more crack like that and I'll be gnawing on the steering wheel. Tell me, Walter, how do you usually spend Thanksgiving?
Well, usually Mom cooks a big turkey, and we have dinner around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, I'll never forget last year's meal. First, we had a fresh fruit cut, then some delicious vegetable soup. Oh, and then this big golden brown turkey was served with this special dressing made out of chestnuts and raisins and stuff. And you want to hear the rest of it, Miss Brooks?
Certainly. Just pass me a blotter and keep talking.
Well, I don't remember all the dishes, but the hot mince pie was really tops. My mom was just about the best cook in this town.
And like most good cooks, she probably prepares more food than she really needs.
Oh, for sure. Out of last year's turkey, the whole family had turkey giblets, turkey sandwiches, and turkey hash.
Well, that's because you didn't invite enough guests over for Thanksgiving dinner. You know, Walter, I've often thought that people who are so close to each other all year round should somehow manage to spend their holidays together as well.
Well, what kind of people are you talking about, Miss Brooks?
Well, school teachers and students, for example.
Oh, who needs teachers on a holiday? I mean, most teachers you get enough during school hours. The present company excluded, of course. You're a lot different, Miss Brooks.
I know, I'm hungrier. Look, Walter, about spending Thanksgiving together, if you're planning to be with your folks.
No, I'm not, Miss Brooks. No, my mother and my dad are going out of town for the weekend. It's my dad's first vacation in 2 years.
How come you're not leaving town with them?
It's my dad's first vacation in 2 years. Oh, he loves me, sure. But he thinks I'm a little wearing in spots. So I'm staying over at Stretch Snodgrass's house until next week.
Oh, I see. Then you'll have Thanksgiving dinner with Mr. and Mrs. Snodgrass?
No, ma'am, they're going away with my folks. They're good friends, you know, just like Stretch and me. But, Miss Brooks, I think your idea about spending Thanksgiving together is just swell.
You do?
Sure, why don't you, me, and Stretch have dinner tomorrow night?
Dinner? Well, that might be very nice,
Oh,
Walter.
great! Then Stretch and I'll be over to your place at 3 o'clock sharp.
My place?
Well, yeah, that is, if you still want us.
I wouldn't be without you. But, Walter, Mrs. Davis did the shopping yesterday, and there just weren't any good-sized turkeys left that she could afford, so what she bought...
Oh, what she bought isn't important, Miss Brooks. What counts is spending Thanksgiving with people who mean something to you. The Pilgrims certainly had it all over us modern carriers. When a pilgrim wanted to celebrate the holiday, he just picked up his musket and shot himself a turkey.
At the current prices, Walter, the only way I'll have a turkey tomorrow is if I pick up a musket and shoot myself a butcher. wanted to talk to you for a minute before your first class.
Oh, I'm glad you dropped in, Miss Bryce. I've got some rather exciting news this morning.
I'll be glad to. What is it, Mr. Boynton?
Well, do you remember that raffle ticket I bought last month in Barney's Malt Shop?
Oh, on that green Adams hat with the red feather?
No, on the Tom Turkey. They had a drawing last night and I won. Isn't that wonderful?
That is what I call the coincidence of all time.
Coincidence?
Why do you think I stopped by your laboratory this morning?
Well, I don't know.
To invite you over for Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow.
Huh, well, that's nice of you, Miss Bryce. I'll be happy to come over. About what time would we be expecting me?
I'll be expecting you and Tom about noon.
Huh? Oh, you mean the turkey? Well, I'm afraid not, Miss Brooks. You see, at this very moment, he's on a train headed upstate.
Why? Did he get fed up with our climate?
No, I sent it up to my folks' place. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford to visit my parents this year, but, well, now they have something to remind them of me anyhow.
Must be a very tall turkey. What did he weigh, Mr. Boynton?
Ooh, about 18 pounds. Of course, what I do with an 18-pound turkey, I'll never know.
Till tomorrow. Well, I'd better be running along now. On second thought, you needn't get to the house until 3:30. On third thought, you can back out of the whole thing if you want to.
Back out? Well, I should say not. I'll be there, all right, and thanks for the invitation.
You're welcome. But, Mr. Boynton, if you're expecting the conventional Thanksgiving Day dinner, you're liable to be a little disappointed. I'm just not having it.
No. What are you having?
So far, Walter Denton and stretched snodgrass.
And now, presenting the product America can't get enough of, Gunderson's Miracle Cream, patent pending. Using the Gunderson's Miracle Cream, patent pending, you'll find your problems will simply disappear. 9 out of 10 doctors recommend Gunderson's Miracle Cream, patent pending, to treat the following: arthritis, asthma, cancer of the lungs, cancer of the stomach, cancer of the heart, chickenpox, varicose veins, diabetes, depression, dyslexia, common cold, uncommon cold, E. coli, lead poisoning, broken bones, Lyme disease, scurvy, nearsightedness, farsightedness, lupus, broken heart, measles, rabies, salmonella, cabin fever, vertigo, paper cuts, tetanus, tinnitus, hangnails, tuberculosis, yellow fever, shell shock, celiac disease, warts, poverty, witchcraft, bruises, ghosts. Lycanthropy, zombification, depreciating home value, ringworm, earworm, brain sluggishness, indecisiveness, maybe, ingrown toenails, food poisoning, splinters, lack of coordination, loneliness, cavities, jury duty, marital issues, toxic blood, bee stings, sarcasm, stupidity, demonic possession, and traffic congestion in some cases. Remember to tell your friends all about Gunderson's Miracle Cream, patent pending. America's favorite new remedy for all your ills, available now where snake oils are found.
This is Hank Moses for KHZN 1101 on your radio dial. We've got a lot of great programming coming up for you in the next hour. And now, the conclusion to Our Miss Brooks, brought to you by Colgate Dental Cream.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, will continue in just a moment. But first, here's Vern Smith.
Now, proof that brushing teeth right after eating with Colgate Dental Cream helps stop tooth decay before it starts.
Continuous research, hundreds of case histories, makes this the most conclusive proof in all dental research on tooth decay.
Eminent dental authorities supervise thousands of college men and women for over 2 years. One group always brushed their teeth with Colgate's right after eating. The other followed their usual dental care.
The group using Colgate Dental Cream as directed, using Colgate's exclusively, showed a startling reduction in average number of cavities, far less tooth decay. The other group developed new cavities at a much higher rate. No other dentifrice offers proof of these results.
Modern research shows tooth decay is caused by mouth acids, which are at their worst right after eating. Brushing your teeth with Colgate's as directed helps remove said acids before they harm an enamel. Yes, Colgate contains all the necessary ingredients, including daily dental care.
So remember, always use Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth, and to help stop tooth decay.
Well, Thanksgiving Day arrived right on schedule, mostly because I couldn't do anything to stop it. After breakfast, I headed straight for the kitchen. There, I took a good look at Mrs. Davis's swab. Then I took an aspirin. Then I gave the squab an aspirin. Then I decided to make Mrs. Davis a full partner in my panic. Oh, this is terrible, Mrs. Davis. We can't possibly serve 5 people with this amount of food.
Calm down, Connie. We'll make out some way. I've got cans of salmon in the house, and some cheese and crackers and tidbits of one sort or another.
But one doesn't serve tidbits for Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, I wish that bird was bigger. Did you stuff him again since we last discussed it?
I've stuffed him 5 times since then, Connie. In fact, the last time I went to fill him up, I got the feeling he was trying to kick my hand away.
Oh, it's no use, Mrs. Davis. It just won't work.
I still think you should follow the advice I gave you yesterday, Connie, and get yourself invited out for a real turkey dinner.
But I've already asked Mr. Boynton to join me.
Then get him invited along with you.
Well, what about Stretch Snodgrass and Walter Denton?
Take them along too.
Why not? And while we're at it, why don't you and Minerva join our happy little group?
We'd love to, Connie. Where are we going?
I don't know where you're going, but I'm going to take another aspirin.
I'm sure the Conklins would like to have you over. I ran into Martha yesterday, and she told me she was all ready to carve a huge turkey.
Oh, is she fighting with Mr. Conklin again?
Now, don't be silly. Connie, Martha even remarked yesterday she was hoping Mr. Conklin would ask some of the teachers in to share their dinner.
I can just picture that. If Mr. Conklin saw any teachers at his dinner table, he wouldn't know what to bite first.
That doesn't apply to Mr. Boynton, though. Osgood is quite fond of him, and he's also extremely taken with Stretch Snodgrass. Thinks he's the best athlete Madison's ever had.
Well, what about his attitude toward me?
Call anyway. Remember, Connie, pride goeth before a fall. You've got to make a hit with Mr. Boynton. Here, I'll dial the number for you.
Oh, but Mrs. Davis, Mr. Conklin can't stand the sight of Walter Denton.
Nonsense, dear. His daughter Harriet is crazy about the boy.
Hello?
One moment, please. Miss Brooks is calling. Here, Connie.
Oh, hello?
Oh, hello, Miss Brooks. This is Harriet. Gee, I'm glad you called. You're having Walter Denton over for dinner, aren't you?
That's the original plan, Harriet, but
I wish we could all have dinner together, Miss Brooks. I was just talking to Mother about it this minute.
You were? Well, now that's funny. I wanted to talk to Mother about the same thing.
Wonderful, Miss Brooks. Wait a minute, I'll put her on.
Thanks, Harriet. Harriet and her mother were just talking about getting together for dinner, Mrs. Davis.
Hello, Miss Brooks?
Hello, Mrs. Conklin.
Forgive me if I talk rather quietly, but Mr. Conklin's taking a nap in the living room. He needs the rest, you know. He's been rather irritable lately.
I know, for the last 5 years. I mean, we've known each other for 5 years now, and was the reason I called.
Harriet told me, Miss Brooks. I just know you feel exactly as we do. That people should share their Thanksgiving joy with their friends.
That's right, Mrs. Conklin. You understand, though, that it isn't just me. I've already invited Walter, Stretch, and Mr. Boynton.
The more the merrier, I always say.
Well, I'm glad you always say that, Mrs. Conklin, because my little party lacks just one thing, which you and only you can provide.
What a beautiful way to put it. I can only say, Miss Brooks, that we'll be proud and happy to share Thanksgiving dinner with you and your friends.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Conklin.
Thank you, my dear. Harriet and Mr. Conklin and I will be at your place at 2 o'clock sharp.
It's almost 1, Mother. Don't you think we should wake Daddy?
In a minute, Harriet. Did you take our turkey down to the mission like I told you?
Yes, Mother. I just got back. They certainly were grateful. The man said it would feed almost a dozen underprivileged citizens who ordinarily would go without any Thanksgiving meal at all.
Fine, dear. I know your father will will be happy at the thought of sharing with our less privileged citizens. Now go on in and wake them up, Harriet.
Yes, Mother. Daddy,
Pass me some more of the white meat, please.
it's time to get up, Daddy.
What? What's the matter? It's you, Chuck. What time is it?
1 o'clock. How do you feel after your nap?
Fine, Harriet, just fine. Except for one thing.
What's that?
I could eat my weight in wildcats. Martha? Martha?
Yes, dear? What is it?
Let's not wait till 2 o'clock for dinner. I'd like to eat right now.
Oh, but Osgood.
I saw that turkey in the oven when it was finished this morning, Martha, and I just can't get it out of my mind. Oh, it sure smells good, too.
You must have a pretty long smeller, dear. We gave our turkey to the folks who are on the mission. We're going out for dinner.
Oh, but I don't want to go out. I want to eat my robe and slippers. You gave the turkey to who?
To the mission, dear. It's like municipal shelter, you know.
The man said our turkey would feed almost a dozen underprivileged citizens.
Oh, he did? Well, teachers are underprivileged citizens, too, but I don't give them my Thanksgiving dinner.
Now, calm down, Osgood. This is no day for your high blood pressure to get out of hand. We're going over to Margaret Davis's place to have dinner with Miss Brooks and some of her friends.
Miss Brooks? Who needs teachers on a holiday?
Daddy, Mrs. Davis is a very exotic cook. I'm sure she'll have some wonderful dishes prepared for you.
Oh, I don't want Miss Davis's dishes. I want turkey. Turky. Turkey.
Of course, dear. Now, everyone buys too much for Thanksgiving dinner. Otherwise, we'd have brought our turkey over to Miss Brooks. But, as it is, think of the joy you're sharing with the people at the mission, Osgood.
Join my foot. Food at Miss Brooks' place better be good today. Good? It better be great.
Every time I tried to call Mrs. Conklin back, the party line was in use. Now they don't answer. They're probably on their way over here this minute to eat dinner or not to eat dinner.
Please, Connie, you're beginning to sound like Hamlet. Don't worry so about the Conklins. They'll probably bring their turkey over with them, and we'll have plenty.
Do you really think so, Mrs. Davis?
We'll soon know, Connie. Will you answer the door, please? I'm trying to find some more cans of salmon, just in case.
All right, Mrs. Davis.
Happy Thanksgiving, Miss Brooks.
A very happy Thanksgiving, Miss Brooks.
Aye.
The same to you. But is this all a party?
What do you mean, Miss Brooks?
I mean, just you three? Nothing waiting out in the car or anything?
Well, we were going to bring our turkey along, but we know what a well-stocked larder you both must have. So, we donated it to the mission.
The mission?
One of my favorite charities. There's no joy like sharing. May we come in and start sharing yours?
Of course, Mr. Conklin. If you'll just sit here in the living room, I'll go back to the kitchen and tell Mrs. Davis you're here.
Oh, Harriet and I will go back and help out, Miss Brooks. You've done enough for one day. Why, I'll bet you worked like a beaver this morning.
Not through 6 fingernails. Oh, I didn't do too much, no.
Come on, Mother. I'll fix the salad dressing that new way you showed me.
All right, dear. And I'll tell Mrs. Davis about the new things we've been doing with the parsley.
Never mind the side dishes. Let's just get that turkey to the table pronto, huh?
You chat with Miss Brooks, dear. We'll just be a little while.
Well, make it snappy. I could eat my weight in wildcats, Miss Brooks.
They come in cans, you may get the chance. I mean, we'll be sitting down as soon as the others arrive, Mr. Conklin.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you were having some of your friends in. Hope that lame-brained dunce Walter Denton isn't expected.
Want some popcorn, Mr. Conklin? Or potato chips?
No thanks. Who's coming to this dinner, Miss Brooks?
Well, Mr. Boynton, for one.
Nice chap, Boynton. Far less irritating than many of his contemporaries.
What's the trouble, Mr. Conklin?
I'm not a well man. I've had some very strange symptoms lately.
What kind of symptoms?
Well, every so often I get sudden, blinding flashes of appetite.
Oh, well, that's because you're under such a strain, Mr. Conklin. You see, under great emotional tension, many people experience sudden and uncontrollable appetite. It's psychosomatic to some extent.
Really? you'd like me to stretch out on the couch and tell me how at the age of 3 I was convinced that my younger brother was a Cocker Spaniel.
Yours too? I was only trying to stall, or help, Mr. Conklin. I had an aunt who suffered just like you do. I remember one time my uncle caught his nose on the piano bench. Auntie ran right down to the corner and bought herself a pickle.
A pickle?
It satisfied her nervous craving. When she stayed with us, we always had to keep a big supply of food on hand. Big juicy steaks, chops, chicken, ducks, cold cuts, potato salad.
Please, Miss Brooks, I want my dinner.
But Mr. Conklin, the others aren't. It's open. Come on in.
Well, hello, Miss Brooks. Oh, Mr. Conklin. Hey, this is a surprise.
Hey, Boynton. Can we sit down now, Miss Brooks?
Not quite yet. Pull up a chair, Mr. Boynton.
Thanks. Well, how's turkey like? Get a nice sized bird?
Well, to be honest, Mr. Boynton, our turkey may not be such a big bird, but I'm sure the party's going to be a very big turkey. Oh, I almost forgot. There are some salted peanuts in this dish, Mr. Conklin.
One would almost think you were trying to destroy my appetite, but nothing can do that, Miss Brooks. Absolutely nothing.
The door is open, so I just breezed on in. Hi, Miss Brooks.
Here comes nothing now.
Oh, hi, Mr. Boynton. And Mr. Conklin.
Hello, Denton.
Oh, Miss Brooks, I got some bad news for you.
You'll have to get in line, Walter. What is it?
Well, Stretch's aunt and uncle insisted that I have dinner with him today, so he can't possibly be in here in time to eat with us. Ain't that awful?
I'm absolutely devastated.
Me too. Gosh, Miss Brooks, what are we going to do with all that extra food?
We'll eat it.
Come on in, folks.
At last. Come on.
May I escort you to the dining room, Miss Brooks?
Oh, it won't be necessary, Mr. Boynton. I'll just follow Leo the lion.
I've cut the squab into small pieces and sprayed it with sweet air honey. Nobody will know it isn't turkey. Now then, keep the lid on this big tray except when you're serving, and they won't know how little we've got.
All right, Mrs. Davis, I might as well trot it in. Well, here we are. What'll you have, Mrs. Conklin?
Oh, serve Mr. Conklin first, will you, dear? He's quite hungry.
Certainly. Mr. Conklin, what'll it be?
Of a drumstick.
A drumstick. Yes, sir. Here you are.
Where's
The drumstick. This is it. You know what they say. The nearer the bone, the sweeter the meat.
This is any meat on it. Must be inside the bone.
Well, this is a brand new breed of turkey, Mr. Conklin. They've been experimenting for years with this type on the theory that the shorter the legs, the larger the breast.
Give me some of that then.
Yes, sir. Here it is.
This is it.
This it is. You see, when they were experimenting with the short legs, the breast didn't quite get the idea of what they were trying to do.
Well, where are the wings?
This bird didn't get his wings. He flunked out in basic training.
I thought we'd never get out of that place. Fine dinner that was.
Take it easy, Osgood. We'll stop off on our way home and get a bite somewhere.
I thought the salmon was quite tasty. But Mother, why do you suppose Miss Brooks took Mr. Boynton aside and then excused herself in the middle of the meal and left?
Why, it was obvious, dear. Miss Brooks wanted us to have enough to eat.
I think we gave a beautiful 16-pound turkey to the mission.
Everything happens for the best, dear. See, that's the mission right ahead of us. What a big line of people waiting to be fed. Doesn't it do your heart good to know that we contributed?
Mother, look! That man with the 2 plates full of turkey.
Yeah, full of my turkey. Why, it's Mr. Boynton.
So it is. And who's that right behind him with the blue cap and hitting the big bass drum?
Eve Art as our Miss Brooks returns in just a moment. But first, an announcement. Just this week, all Colgate products 50% off. Act now to save your teeth while you save your money with Colgate Dental Cream. And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, after Mr. Boynton and I had helped to feed over 50 underprivileged citizens, including Mr. Boynton and me, we found out that we had enough money between us to take in a movie. But on our way to the Strand, Mr. Boynton suddenly stopped.
Miss Brooks, helping out with the mission made me realize how lonely the most festive vacation can be if you're not sharing it with someone.
You're so right, Mr. Boynton. I guess you and I are pretty fortunate.
Well, we certainly are, but I just remembered that there's another member of the Madison faculty that's all alone tonight, and needs cheering up pretty badly. Let's do something about it, shall we, Miss Brooks?
Oh, that's a wonderful idea, Mr. Boynton. I'm all for it. I suppose you're referring to our French colleague, Michelle Leblanc?
Oh, no, Miss Brooks. I was actually thinking of Miss Ernright. Let's go pick her up right now,
Who needs teachers on a holiday?
Next week, tune into another Our Miss Brooks show, brought to you by Colgate Dental Cream. Now 50% off. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch. Mr. Boynton is played by Jeff Chandler, and Mr. Conklin by Dale Gordon.
As always, the cast of Our Miss Brooks putting on a great show. Tune in to KHZN 1101 on your radio dial next week at this same time to catch the next episode of Our Miss Brooks. And now we're going to hear this week's episode of Fibber McGee and Molly.
The Johnson's Wax Program presents Fibber McGee and Molly. Well, folks, as you all know by now, Molly is home again, and after looking over the household bills accumulated during her absence, she's a trifle flabbergasted. And here in the living room at 79 Wistful Vista, we find the defendant and the plaintiff in the case of income versus outgo, Fibber McGee and Molly.
McGee, look at this milk bill. What on earth have you been doing? Sprinkling the lawn with it?
It is a little high, ain't it? What say we get a cow?
Why? Who milk it?
Oh, you gotta milk them?
No. You just leave some bottles out in the barn and then rob the cow's nest in the morning. Do you have to milk them? And how about this electric bill?
Ooh, is that high too?
Is it high? Well, look at it. It looks like the annual report of the Tennessee Valley Authority.
Well, I was up late a couple of nights reading. You don't want me to be ignorant of current events now, do you?
No, but what events have been worth this much current? Now look here, dearie. Answer the door.
Okay.
Insurance, man, 45 cents, please.
45 cents for insurance? McGee, what is this? Plague loss insurance on your Diamond Lodge pin?
Now listen, Molly, I took this out while you was gone. It's great stuff. You see, for only 45 cents a week, you get a complete coverage on being struck by lightning, being lost at sea, and oh, tell her the other features, bud.
Oh yes, do.
Well, madam, this policy also covers you against capture by bandits, accidental entry from harpoons, submarine collisions, runaway camels, falling pyramids, stratosphere sickness, and double indemnity for being bitten by a Mediterranean fruit fly.
Imagine that, Molly. All for 45 cents. I wanted a clause in there to cover us being knocked out by the Sunday paper, but that would have been another 10 cents a week.
Oh, that's wonderful. Does it protect us against getting our fingers pinched in the encyclopedia?
No, madam, that would require a physical examination.
Shall I give him the 45 cents then, Molly?
Sure. Give it to him. Then run out and round up a bunch of Mediterranean fruit flies. Hungry ones, mind you.
Here you are, bud. 45 cents.
Thanks. You know, you'll never regret this, folks. Why, just last week, one of our policyholders, Bellboy, collected $9.32 for getting his left ear caught in a keyhole.
I suppose if there'd have been twin beds, he'd have got double indemnity.
You bet.
Well, good day to you, sir.
You don't think I was wrong taking out that policy, do you, Molly?
Oh no, McGee. 'Twas a lovely stroke of business. In fact, we can put in a claim right away.
Huh? A claim? On what?
Captured by bandits.
Huh?
Look at this laundry bill.
Oh, I don't think that'd work, Molly. My shirts couldn't stand a physical examination. Well, they'd flunk the butt analysis. Oh, don't you get it, Molly? I says they'd flunk.
Tain't funny, McGee. But now, let's get down to business. We've got to work out a budget. I'll keep the books.
Swell. I'll run downtown and get a set of books and a sample budget. Shouldn't cost more than $2.
I'll answer, dearie.
Okay.
79 Wisp Vista, Molly McGee speaking. To whom am I speaking with, please? Who? Mert. Mert who?
Oh, that's Mert, the telephone operator, Molly. I'll talk to her.
Oh, no you won't.
Huh?
What is it you wanted, please? Mr. McGee is busy right now.
Oh, I am not.
He is too. I mean, what? Oh, you'll call him later on? All right, dearie. Goodbye. McGee,
Huh?
who's Mert?
Mert? Oh, she's just a telephone operator. I never met her. Just talked to her on the phone. Just kidded with her and stuff like that there.
I see.
Oh, honest, Molly, don't you believe me? Oh, wait a minute. Folks, them who've listened to our other shows, we'd write and tell Molly that I ain't never seen Miss Mert. Tell her that I even never had...
Oh, all right. Let it go. I believe ya.
Okay.
But now, speaking of operators, look at this telephone bill.
Huh?
$34! Can't Europe settle its own problems? Did you have to call him up and give him advice?
What you mean, Molly?
Why, we've got to cut down on using the telephone.
All right. Let's have it taken out. I'll build a little coop up on the roof, and we can use carrier pigeons.
You think the cooing would help our billing? Oh, he was always one to go to extremes. Now, you run down and get some bookkeeping ledgers.
Okay. I'll call a couple of taxi cabs right away.
A couple of taxi cabs?
Sure. I gotta come back, don't I?
Sometimes I doubt the necessity. You'll take the streetcar.
Okay, but that's false economy, Molly. It's a waste of time, and time is money.
Oh, go on now. It'll do you good to ride the streetcar and rub shoulders with the common people.
I guess you're ever on the streetcar lately, Molly. It ain't your shoulders that gets rubbed. I'll be back in a little while, and then we can start.
Well, trot along, McGee. What are you waiting for?
Aren't you gonna kiss me goodbye?
Oh, of course, dearie.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. And hurry back, Fibber.
Oh, hello there, Fibber. Where are you bound?
I'm looking for a bookstore or a stationery store, Harlow. Our bill's been too high, and I gotta get some books and make out a budget.
Oh, see, that's a fine idea. I have a budget myself.
Oh, you have? You got it with you?
Sure. Right here. Take a look at it.
Oh, that's very interesting. What's this item here? Entertainment, 20 cents. Gee, that must have been quite a fling.
Well, it was. The 20 cents was for car fare out to the Better Housekeeping Institute.
Oh, so that's your idea of entertainment. The Better Housekeeping Institute? Is that the only toot you could think of?
Listen, I have a swell time out there.
Here it comes, folks.
Whenever I show him how easy it is to use Johnson's self-polishing glow coat and particularly how they can save money right now by stocking up with those special, giant-sized cans with the extra third free. Why, nothing's too good for me. Why, they make me fudge or panucci or taffy apple or something. You can see how much that saves on meals in my budget.
Yeah, that's great. Why don't you hide in the oven until morning so you can get your breakfast free too?
Well, I tried that a couple of times, but someone always comes along and sticks a fork in me to see if I'm done. Well, watch that budget, Fibber. Remember, the close-fisted guy of today is the open-handed guy of tomorrow. So long, pal.
Well, how do you do, Mr. McGee? Oh, it's so nice to see you.
Well, hi, Mrs. Uppington. Where are you going in such a hurry?
Oh, I must get down to the caterers, Mr. McGee. You see, I'm giving a tea, and I must get some advice about the hors d'oeuvres. Why, do you know the anchovies I bought simply refuse to respond to the curling iron?
Oh, dear, dear, dear.
Yes.
Curling the anchovies, eh? That's some stuff. Well, how do you get the toothpicks into those little sausages, Uppy? With a bow and arrow?
Oh, now, Mr. McGee, I'm afraid you're twitting me. Really?
I twitted myself with that one.
Oh, and that reminds me. I'm so glad Mrs. McGee has returned. Do tell her to come to my tea on Wednesday. Just a simple, homey affair. Only 60 or 70 people invited, you know.
Oh, that sounds very chummy. Where are you holding it? At home or in the Yale Bowl?
Oh my, how very amusing. The Yale Bowl. Oh, yes.
It is at that, eh? Well, I can just see some old mug in a frock coat plunging around your left end with a piece of cake. Well, I'll tell Molly, Uppy, and much obliged. She'll be glad to get a free meal now on account we're on a budget.
Oh, really? My, how fascinating. Oh, I've been through that whole budgeting nuisance myself, you know. Even now, I often say to myself, Abigail, you naughty girl, not another string of pearls until next week. Well, so nice to have seen you again, Mr. McGee. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Not another string of pearls till next week. Wonder if she realizes how many oysters she's thrown at work. Now let's see this budget book again. According to this book, we can spend $3,600 a year for groceries. Now our grocery bill has never been over $700 or $800 before. That's quite a saving. Shopping. I'm going to buy all our clothes for the whole year now and get it over with. This budget allows me $1,200 and Molly $1,500. Now that's more clothes than we had in our lives. That's wonderful. Huh. And if it hadn't been for this budget book, we'd never been able to do it. Oh boy, all our shopping done for the whole year now. Gee, would Molly be tickled. $1,500 worth of clothes. Why, I hope she likes her hats. Hey Molly, I done it. I got the budget book, and that ain't all.
What?
I done all our shopping for the whole year, Molly. Boy, is that a wonderful budget.
What?
$1,500 for your clothes,
Yes.
$1,200 for my clothes. Share you $346.
Hold it, McGee. Hold it. Calm down. Heavenly days!
Yeah, but look, Molly, look at this budget. Why, it's marvelous.
Easy, McGee. There's something funny here. Let me see that book.
Okay, here. You see where it says about the charity?
McGee,
Huh?
this budget is for an income of $20,000.
Oh, I sure, it's... What? It is? You mean I gotta make $20,000 this year to pay for all of it? Oh, well, what's the difference? I can handle it. I got the whole world ahead of me.
Oh, you have you?
Yeah.
That isn't the world in front of you, dearie.
What you mean?
You're behind the 8 ball.
Oh,
Join us again next week for another episode of Fibber McGee and Molly.
Thank you, Fibber and Molly. Always a laugh to be had at 79 Wistful Vista. Next up on KHZN, a new 5-minute mystery, Death Calls at Dinner, sponsored by Santa Fe Mexican Grill.
Another 5-minute mystery, brought to you by Crisco. See if you can solve the case before the end of the program.
Well, Alice, one more block and you'll behold the Brooks household.
2 whole years, Jim. It just doesn't seem possible it's been so long. You and Dorothy married and with a place of your own.
That's true, all right. Only too bad you haven't taken advantage of the old Brooks hospitality sooner.
Well, I'm here now, and I intend on having a perfectly wonderful time.
Now, here we are.
Oh, what a charming place this is.
Dorothy's probably on needles and pins waiting for me to get you here. Darling, it's Jim. Who's Alice?
Jim, look!
What? Where?
There, on the living room floor. It's Dorothy. Dead.
Mr. Brooks, I'm afraid you and Miss Manning will have to submit to some routine questions.
I'll be happy to help in any way I can, Detective.
Thank you, Miss Manning. Now, Mr. Brooks, while we're waiting for some information I phoned for, I want you to tell me exactly what happened this morning.
There's nothing much to tell. Both my wife and I were quite excited, expecting Alice, that is, Miss Manning, to visit us from Chicago. I was to wait until she called me at the office.
And you were there all morning?
Yes, until Miss Manning's train arrived and we came out here.
I had written Miss Brooks to tell her that I would call Jim at the office as soon as I arrived. The train was an hour late. Maybe if it had been here early, it could have prevented this.
Well, that remains to be seen. Apparently, Mrs. Brooks was sitting here in this chair putting red polish on her fingernails while she was shot from behind. The polish has spilled all over the carpet, and she was still holding the tiny brush in her hand. She must have recognized her attacker, and since she did not die instantly, she printed these 3 initials here on the floor with the polish. D-O-C.
D.O.C. I wish we could tell whose initials she was trying to reveal.
You're sure you don't know anyone whose name would fit that?
I'm positive. I can't.
Oh.
Yes, Miss Manning? Can you think of somebody with those initials?
Well, D-O-C spells Doc, and it's Mr. Brooks's nickname.
It can't be.
Yes, Mr. Brooks?
I've been called Doc for over 2 years. It was a nickname I picked up in school. My wife didn't like the name, never used it. No one in New York even knows me by Doc. You gotta believe me, Detective. It's the truth.
Well, that will see. Just a minute. Hello? Yes, Grady. Yes. I see. Well, it's sewed up anyway. Thanks. Well, you both will be happy to know our little murder case is solved.
Oh, then it wasn't Doc after all?
No, Miss Manning, it wasn't Doc. I'm arresting you, Miss Manning, for the murder of Dorothy Brooks.
Why did the inspector arrest Miss Manning for the murder of Mrs. Brooks? In a moment, we'll hear. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
This is Shirley saying, keep cooking with Crisco. It's all vegetable, it's digestible.
And now, back to our story.
How dare you arrest me? I was still on the train.
Your train wasn't late, Miss Manning. That phone call just verified the fact. You came out here,
murdered Mrs. Brooks, returned to the station, and called Mr. Brooks to pick you up. That wasn't what really gave you away, though, Miss Manning. Too bad you didn't know Mr. Brooks was no longer called Doc when you printed those letters on the carpet. The next time you leave a name as a clue to throw suspicion, you'd better get the name right. But of course, there won't be a next time, will there, Miss Manning?
Join us again next time for another chance to solve a 5-minute mystery.
Great gazelles. I sure didn't see that twist conclusion. Join us tomorrow at this same time for more 5-Minute Mysteries. Well, folks, I can tell that you're going to love this next act. Before we get to our final show of the night, we have the hilarious comedians Abbott and Costello performing their best-known sketch, Who's On First?
Well, Costello, I'm going to New York with you. You know, Bucky Harris, the Yank manager, gave me a job as coach for as long as you're on the team.
Well, look, Costello, if you're the coach, you must know all the players.
Right, certainly do.
Well, I never met the guys, so you have to tell me their names, and then I'll know who's playing on the team.
Oh, I'll tell you the names, but, you know, strange as it may seem, they give these ball players nowadays very peculiar names.
You mean funny names?
Strange names, pet names, like Dizzy Dean
And his brother Daffy.
Daffy Dean.
And a French cousin.
French?
Gouffet.
Gouffet Dean, oh, I see. Well, let's see, we have on the bags, we have who's on first, what's on second, now knows on third.
Well, that's what I want to find out.
I say who's on first, what's on second, now knows on third.
Are you the manager?
Yeah.
You're going to be with the coach, too?
Yeah.
And you don't know the fellas' names?
Well, I should.
Well, then who's on first?
Yeah.
No, I mean the fella's name.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
First baseman.
Who?
The guy playing first base.
Who's on first?
I'm asking you, who's on first?
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
That's it.
That's who?
Yeah.
Look, you got a first baseman?
Certainly.
Who's playing first?
That's right.
When you pay off the first baseman every month, who gets the money?
Every dollar of it.
Okay, look, all I'm trying to find out is the guy's name on first base.
Who?
The guy that gets the money.
That's it.
Who gets the money on first base?
He does, every dollar. Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it.
Whose wife?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Look, all I want to know is when you sign up the first baseman, how does he sign his name on the contract?
Who?
The guy.
Who?
How does he sign it?
That's how he signs it.
Who?
Yeah.
All I'm trying to find out is the guy's name on first base.
No, what's on second base?
I'm not asking who's on second.
Who's on first?
One base at a time.
Well, don't change the players around.
I'm not changing nobody.
Oh, take it easy, buddy.
All I'm asking you, who's the guy on first base?
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
What's the guy's name on first base?
No, what's on second?
I'm not asking who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Oh, he's on third. We're not talking about it. Let's get back to first.
Now, how do we get to third base?
Well, you mentioned his name.
If I mention the third baseman's name, who would I say is playing third?
No, who's playing first?
What's on first?
No, what's on second?
No, I don't know.
He's on third.
There we go, back on third again. Will you stay on third base and not go off it?
All right, what do you want to know?
I want to know who's playing third base.
Why do you insist on putting who on third base?
What am I putting on third?
No, what's on second?
You don't want who on second?
No, who's on first?
I don't know.
Third base.
Look, you got an outfield?
Sure.
Left fielder's name?
Why?
Just thought I'd ask you.
Well, just thought I'd tell you.
Well, when I tell you who's playing left field.
Who's playing first?
I'm not. Stay out of the infield. I want to know who's the guy on left field.
No, what's on second?
I'm not asking who's on second.
No, who's on first?
I don't know.
Third base.
Left fielder's name?
Why?
Because.
No, he's center field.
Oh,
that's the fella's name?
Look, you got a pitcher?
Sure.
Pitcher's name?
Tomorrow.
You don't want to tell me today?
I'm telling you now.
Well, go ahead.
Tomorrow.
What time?
What time what?
At what time tomorrow are you going to tell me who's pitching?
Now listen, who's not pitching? Who's
Listen, I'll break your arm if you want to. I want to know who's the guy on first base. What's the pitcher's name?
What's on second?
I don't know.
Third base.
You got a catcher?
Certainly.
Catcher's name?
Today.
Today. And tomorrow's pitching?
Now you got it.
Okay, all we got is a couple of days on the team. You know, I'm a catcher too.
So they tell me.
Yeah, you know, I get behind the plate, do some fancy catching. Tomorrow's pitching on my team. You know, heavy hitter gets up.
Yeah.
Now, the heavy hitter bunts the ball. When he bunts the ball, he being a good catcher. I want to throw it to the guy on first base. So I pick up the ball, throw it to who?
Now that's the first thing you said right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's all you have to do.
Just throw the ball to first base?
Yeah,
Now who's got it?
naturally.
Look, if I throw the ball to first base, someone's got to go get it, right? Now who has it?
Naturally.
Who?
Naturally.
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 So pick up the ball and throw it to naturally?
No, you don't. Throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's different.
That's what I said.
You're not saying that.
Throw the ball to naturally?
You throw it to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
That's what I said.
Listen, you ask me.
I throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
Now you ask me.
You throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
Same as you.
You're changing them around.
Same as you. I throw the ball to who? Whoever it is drops the ball. Guy runs to second. Who picks up the ball? Throws it to what? What throws it to? I don't know. I don't know. Throws it back to tomorrow. Triple play.
Yeah.
Another guy gets up. It's a long fly ball because why? I don't know. He's on third, and I don't give a darn.
Oh, what?
I said I don't give a darn.
No, he's our shortstop.
What?
Well, folks, we've had a great evening of programming here on KHZN 1101 on your radio dial. But now it's time for our final show. Up next on KHZN, the new dramatic science fiction drama, Flash Gordon.
Presenting for the first time on radio, the amazing interplanetary adventures of Flash Gordon and Dale Arden, brought to you by Tully's Coffee, the best coffee around. These thrilling adventures come to you as depicted each Sunday in the Comic Weekly, the world's greatest pictorial supplement of humor and adventure. The Comic Weekly, now printed in 32 tablet-sized pages, each page in bold 4 colors, is distributed everywhere as a part of your first Sunday's newspaper. Racing high above the earth, comfortably seated in a giant airliner, Flash Gordon, internationally famous athlete, looks admiringly across the aisle at Dale Arden, the lovely young companion of his air voyage. The minds of both are intent on the terrible destruction which for many months has been approaching Earth with terrific speed. The new planet hurtling through space directly in the path of Earth. Suddenly, there's a violent jar. The plane lurches into a spinning nosedive. Flash Gordon's trained muscles carry him across the aisle to the frightened girl to gather her in his arms and then leap free of the falling plane, and pulls the ripcorder's parachute glass to Earth.
Don't be frightened, Dale. The plane has crashed. We're safe.
Yes, thanks to you.
Hold fast. We're landing now. Careful. Easy. Are you all right, Dale?
Yes.
Good.
Oh, Flash. Oh, look, Flash. There's a large steel door. It's closing.
Well, that's the laboratory of the great scientist, Dr. Hans Zarkov. He's coming this way. I'll call him to help us. I hope you'll pardon us for breaking in on you so unceremoniously, Doctor, but you see, we had to bail out.
I see you for what you are. Spies! Come to steal my secrets. But I have the answer for that. Come with me.
Put that gun away, Professor Zarkov. This man is mad, Dale. We'll have to humor him. All right, Professor. All right. We'll come with you.
There now. Oh. Get down this ladder. Into the tower. Down, I tell you.
All right. All right.
There now. We are in my rocket ship. And in 10 seconds, we will be on our way to the new planet. We will all die. Die for science.
Dr. Isnad, this rocket ship is breaking away from the Earth with the speed of light, right into the path of the new planet.
Hold tight, Dale. We'll escape somewhere.
To the new planet. The new planet. We three will save the Earth.
Dr. Zarkov, there's still time to swing your rocket ship out of the path of the new planet.
No. No.
What will you gain for science if we're all killed in this crash?
I know who you are, Flash Gordon. The world's greatest athlete. But your trained strength will not save you. Only my mind. The mind of Zarkov.
The turbo drive. He's searching for the controls.
Stand aside, Dr. Zarkov.
Feel it. The gravitational pull of the new planet. We crash in 5 seconds.
The rocket ship hits the planet. Dr. Zarkov and Dale are thrown from the rocket ship unconscious. Flash is thrown clear of the wreckage and lands on his feet uninjured. He rushes to the side of the unconscious girl, picks her up, and starts to carry her toward the distant towers of the city on this weird new planet.
Suddenly, strange soldiers armed with ray guns appeared and, capturing Dale and Flash, forced them to come with them to the throne room of Ming the Merciless, Emperor of Mongo and supreme ruler of the universe.
O thou indulgent Ming, most merciless majesty of Mongo, supreme ruler of all the peoples of the new planet, thy servants salute thee.
Good. Ming shall want the earth people.
Thy servants obey, O Ming the Merciless.
Get your hands off me. I'm no servant. I'll make your emperor as a free man and an equal.
So, Earthman, you're a free man and my equal? Throw him to the red monkey man in the arena. I will be forced to make this free man my equal.
There is thy freedom, Earthman. Now you go into the arena to meet the red monkey men of Mongoid.
No!
Don't worry, dear. Emperor Ming, I'll show you that I, a free man from the earth, are more than a match of your brainless red monkey man.
Flash reaches the bottom step leading to the arena. He leaps and swings at the nearest red monkey man. Then, grasping the fallen man-beast under the armpit, Flash throws him around in a flail, knocking the others in all directions. Emperor Ming, fearing that his monkey men will all be killed, orders his soldiers to destroy Flash with their ray guns. In the midst of confusion, Princess Aura, the beautiful young daughter of Emperor Ming, calls to Flash.
Quick, brave Earthman. This way. Here's my balcony.
Flash leaps on the royal balcony and joins the gorgeously jeweled princess, who commands the servants to keep back while she takes Flash through a secret door and into a passage leading into a private elevator. The two get in, and Aura shows the door and presses the switch.
Who are you, beautiful maiden?
I am the Princess Aura, only daughter of Ming the Merciless.
Princess, I owe you my life.
You are brave, and handsome, and strong. You must not end so young. I have never seen anyone like you, Earthman.
Where I come from, Princess, there are many stronger men and better looking. But tell me, Princess, where are you taking me?
I am taking you to the private landing frame of my own rocket car. There you will be safe. We have arrived, Earthman. Get in this rocket car. No one can harm you here.
Princess, I don't...
Hurry! Hurry!
But Princess Aura, how am I to rescue the Earth Girl Dale Arden?
That is why you are in my private rocket car, Earthman.
Why? What do you mean?
Dale Arden can never be rescued by you.
But Princess, I...
As for you, Earthman, you shall love me, or die.
Meanwhile, back in the palace, Emperor Ming is talking with Dale Arden.
Your companion Flash Gordon has escaped. For now. But my men will soon capture him.
What are you going to do with me, Emperor Ming?
You are pleasing to me, Earthwoman. You shall become my wife.
Never. I don't love you.
We men of Mongo have no human traits. No mercy, no kindness, no love. Whether you love me or not makes no difference. You shall become my wife as soon as the ceremony can be arranged.
Your Majesty, look into the spaceograph. Our city is being bombarded by the space gyros of the Lion Men.
The Lion Men? Order the entire space fleet to the attack!
Hey there, do you ever find yourself always dragging through the day? Do you need frequent pick-me-ups to make you more energized at work? Well then, you should try Tully's. Tully's Coffee has the right blend of coffee beans to wake you right up. Our brews are handcrafted just the way you like them. Come on in, enjoy a cup of coffee. Heck, make a new friend while you're here. Our coffee is the best, Tully's Coffee. In the terrific battle which takes place between Emperor Ming's space fleet and the gyros of the Lion Men, the attacking gyros are driven off. The rocket ship in which Flash Gordon has been held captive is destroyed, and Flash is thrown to the ground unconscious. He opens his eyes to find himself staring at the great, bearded face of Zoom, Prince of the Lion Men. Zoom lets his great sword fall as he sees Flash Gordon's skin.
Who art thou, sallow-skinned youth? Speak. Answer me before I cleave thy body in pieces. Art thou a new kind of soldier of Ming the Merciless?
I am the sworn enemy of that fiend Emperor Ming of Mongo.
He has captured a girl from the earth, like myself. I live only to rescue her.
An Earthman, thou sayest,
Yes,
and an enemy of Ming the Merciless.
that's right. Tell me, are you friend or enemy?
I am Zhu, Prince of the Lion Men, hereditary enemies of the men of Mongo. If thou would accept me as thy friend, Earthman, I will gladly join thee against Ming the Merciless.
Here's my hand on it then, Zune.
Good. What is thy name, Earthman?
I'm called Flash Gordon upon the earth, your highness.
Call me Zune, friend, and I shall call thee Flash.
Friend Zune, do you know how we can gain admittance to the palace that we may rescue Dale Arden?
Come, I will show thee a secret way into the palace.
Good.
The Emperor Ming is away pursuing my gyro fleet. We may be able to rescue the Earth Girl before Ming's return.
Flash Gordon and his powerful newfound friend go first to the space gyro of Prince Zune, and there they gaze intently into the thought projector, in which they only see Dale Arden captive, but they also have revealed to them a secret way leading into the throne room of the palace. The secret passage is known as the Tunnel of Terror because of the deadly beasts which lie within its gloomy walls. Fighting each step of the way, Flash and his new friend Zune finally find themselves within the palace. A door with great steel bolts stand before them.
Quick, Zune. This door must lead directly to the center of the palace.
From my memory of the palace, I should say that beyond this door is the great throne room of the Emperor Ming.
All right then, here we go. Ah, there. You're right, Zune. It is the throne room.
Yes, this great statue before us is the god of death, which stands at the top of the altar steps, directly behind the throne of the Emperor.
Listen. Zune, what's that?
By the great god Paul. It is the royal wedding procession. Ming the Merciless is taking another bride.
He's coming up the altar steps, Zune. I'm gonna look around the idol.
To look around the idol is death. Thou must not. Come back. Come back, Flash.
Zune, save yourself. I'm going to the rescue of my Earth friend Dale Arden. She's being forced into a marriage with Ming the Merciless.
Prince Zune of the Lion Men does not save himself at the expense of his friends. If thou must die, I will die fighting with thee.
Dale! This way, Dale!
After them!
This way, Dale!
Down this passage, Earthling, and fast as thou canst run. Quick, you.
They're swarming up the altar steps. Help me topple the idol over on them. Now, 1, 2, 3.
With a grinding crash, the giant auto topples over on the on-rushing soldiers of Ming the Merciless, killing those in front and throwing into confusion the whole company. Flash Gordon and Prince Zune will Dale between them, dash into the secret passage beneath the idol. The way becomes steeper. They slip and fall, down, 100 feet or more into a whirling underground river. They've swept along down a raging current and over falls into a lake. With the powerful strokes of a champion swimmer, Flash sets out for the shore, towing Dale by the hair. They reach the shore, and as Flash reaches down to drag Dale to safety, she screams and disappears beneath the calm surface of the lake, clutched in two powerful green scaly arms. With no thought of his own safety, Flash Gordon dives to Dale's rescue and finds an adventure stranger than any witch has gone before. Follow the thrilling adventures of Flash Gordon and Dale Arden each Sunday in your Hearst Sunday's newspaper. You will find them graphically portrayed in full-color pictures in the Comic Weekly. Only in the Comic Weekly can you follow the escapades of the Katzenjammer Kids, those perennial rascals, or thrill to the adventures of King in the Royal Mountain, and many, many others. Be sure you get the big 32-page, all-colored Comic Weekly supplement with your copy of next Sunday's Hearst newspaper. And don't fail to listen again next week to the continuation of the amazing interplanetary adventures of Flash Gordon and Dale Arden.
Good evening. My name is Sergeant Bjarke, coming to you live on KHZN 1101 on your radio dial. We have men and women fighting on the front lines, defending our democracy. You may not be able to join them, but you can assist them. Keep our guns firing. keep our boats afloat, and keep our planes flying? With war bonds. We need your contribution today so we can crush fascism tomorrow. Our Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force have not quit giving, and neither should you. Once freedom and liberty are assured across the world, our war bonds will be used to protect the liberated countries within Europe and Asia. Our allies are counting on the support of our prosperity. Tens of millions of true patriots have already bought war bonds. Why shouldn't you? Don't let your guard down. Fascists don't quit, and neither should we. Buy war bonds today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hank Moses, and I'd like to thank all of you for joining us this evening. Join us again tomorrow for another night of outstanding programming. This is Hank Moses, signing off for KHZN.